Coming up is Talking Points. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. Thanks for joining us on Talking Points. We are receiving a journalist. We are receiving Prince Joel Mukage. Prince Joel Mukage, thanks for accepting our invitation.
Good evening to you, my brother. For me, I'm Shong Sanda. Good evening to the peace-loving people of Donga Matun subdivision, and special good evening to Honorable Ngala Gerard.
Prince Joel Mukage, we have watched a series of reports, people rising to say that our lands are being forcefully taken away, our lands are being threatened, or the rights to our ancestral lands are being threatened by powerful individuals. The question that comes to the minds of every Cameroonian is why now? Yeah. I mean, it's a key question that most Cameroonians are asking. Why now?
No, the issue is the issue of land seizure is an old story, because we have a majority of our funds and traditional rulers who seize lands from persons and feel that they can give to certain individuals, but many a time they work very closely to the local administrators, that's the DUs and the SDUs, and we feel that it is something that should be condemned. It's a very important issue that you brought it up, because traditional rulers today, they just take lands from people, and like I said, it's not something that is today, it's something that is very historical.
Yeah, historical. Yeah, you are an investigative journalist. That's why I asked you that question, and you rightly put it that it's not it's not something that is just starting. We've been experiencing that in Cameroon. As in, what is happening? Why are the people rising up just now? Starting with the Fakuland saga, and we've had reports from the littoral to the west region of Cameroon. People are beginning to speak up. Is there something cooking at the Ministry of Survey, Land Tenure and State Property, for example?
I will not authoritatively say yes, but I feel that there is something that is not going on well. The issue of land expropriation in Cameroon is not a new story. Traditional rulers, chiefs and other ministers, as well as divisional officers, because they work hand in glove. You cannot take somebody's land, because when you take the land, the person will want to run to the nearest police station or maybe run to the nearest divisional office. But when they go there, they cannot actually explain their grievances, because it is a kind of a chain. I've done investigations, like you said. I've done investigations on this land issue. It is something of a chain. The chief works with the DO. The DO is the boss of the commissioner. So once they take your land, to an extent you're frustrated. You don't know where you can go to, because the chief has seized your land, sells it to, for me, I'm from Sanda, and then you feel that, okay, you can go to the commissioner, and then when you go to the commissioner frustrates you, and you feel that you should go to the DO too, he sounds so tight, because many a time traditional rulers are those who they're custodians of the tradition. So it's not an issue of individuals, Mr. Armstrong. We should be able to say this, because it is not individuals who take lands. It is chiefs who take lands from people. Now, when these chiefs take lands, it is a whole chain, because in one of my investigations I discovered it's a whole chain. There is an issue of the chief, the commissioner, and the DO, because when you take my land, I should go and cry somewhere that my land has been taken.
Now we start from those who are very close to the people. We're talking about traditional rulers, custodians of the traditions, the customs of the people, their cultures. And now we had Barrister Ikomengongi, for example, taking the case of Fako division, saying that it wasn't common in the 60s to get traditional rulers involved in grabbing lands and selling. And he used the word grabbing land. I begin to ask myself, the land is supposed to be under the traditional care of the traditional ruler culturally. And he says traditional rulers of today are so concerned on how to make fast cash that they go into that practice. Do you see also the position of the traditional rulers of today as a problem?
Yeah, very true, very true. The issue is that being a prince in a royal palace, I feel that today we have traditional rulers. You know, there is a difference between traditional rulers in the northwest and those in the southwest. And I think what we are talking about is based more of the southwest. Now, in the southwest region, it is very normal to have land grabbing issue. Like I said before, land grabbing is not today. History has it that Southwesterners or fonts of the Southwest gave their lands to the Germans. History has it that. I'm not a historian.
The barrister says the Germans seized the backward lines and did not hand it back to the people. Later on, the government of Cameroon took the lands and did not give it back to the people. The backward land commission went as far as Banjul in the Gambia and got the ruling in their favor, came back to Cameroon, and the government of late have been ceding the lands. The unfortunate thing, according to him, is that the lands have been ceded. Normally to be ceded to the community, the lands were unfortunately ceded to traditional rulers who intended not distribute to their people, but they went ahead selling.
The issue is that I'm still saying one thing, that when it comes to traditional rulers in the Southwest, when it comes to lands, we should be able to say that traditional rulers in the Southwest have the monopoly to give land to who they want. And many a time, like I said that there are three chains. There is a traditional ruler, there is the local administrator who is a GO, and there is the commissioner or the commandant. That's why you go to the Southwest, do your investigations, you'll find it. I'm saying it because I've investigated it and I discovered that in the Southwest, there are divisional officers or senior divisional officers who have left the Southwest with so many plots of land. They did not buy them. It's just, you just need to favor a traditional ruler. And once you favor the traditional ruler...
What kind of favors, for example? Because I got some through Barrister Ngongi. What kind of favors, for example, do traditionals need from administrators, be they DOs or senior divisional officers?
When I talk about favor, in my investigation I discover favor means that many a time they come, they just need to bring somebody and win a case. They just need to say, okay,
make the wrong persons.
That is it. Yes. No. I will not say that. I will not say that. In the Southwest, it's different from the Northwest. In the Southwest, chieftains is more of kind of a vote. It's more of, for me, Armstrong can become a chief tomorrow. But in the Northwest, where I come from, where I'm a prince, for you to be a traditional ruler, someday I may be a king, I may be a chief. But in the Southwest, what I'm talking about, Armstrong, is that in the Southwest...
Yes, I think I've gotten you. I wanted to go faster because we've also had reports of land issues in the West region with customs and traditions similar to those of the Northwest region. But I wanted to talk about the rules of the traditional ruler, to go and talk about the rules of the elite and consequently elected officials like members of parliament. At the time when people are crying, because we're having these cries from the common people who are not seeing their mayors and their MPs crying. So
no, we want to feel that many a time when these things come up, those who are supposed to cry for the people are the elected officials, the parliamentarians. At the level of the Southwest, we've seen Honorable Malombe, who has cried for the people. And the level of the Northwest, and especially Donga Mantun, we've seen Honorable Ngala Gerard. He's one guy I admire so much. He's one of those very vibrant parliamentarians who will not. I want to feel that if you took somebody's land illegally and you went to cry to Ngala Gerard, he will tell you, no, Prince, that land is not yours. And you will see to it that the land comes back to you. That is why I'm still saying that at the level of the Southwest, I will not want to criticize what is ongoing in the Southwest, because this is a chain. It's not a chief. Because when you take a land, Armstrong, it's not you. Once you take the land, there is a commissioner. You go and complain a case. But at the level of the commissioner tell you don't have a case. And then the case goes to the GO, and the GO sends it back to the palace.
It gets complicated, and
you're bound to say...
Those crying, they will not know where to turn to again.
You're bound to say, I've lost the case.
Just like Barrister Kumengongi, Prince is stating actors in this chain of land grabbing in different parts of Cameroon. And we are hoping that investigations that have so far been launched through CONAC, by the presidency through CONAC, will be able to establish who are the persons responsible for this illegal and fraudulent land grabbing in all parts of Cameroon. Thanks very much, Prince.
It's a privilege being on board with you, Armstrong. Special good evening again to the peace-loving people of the Donga Mountain subdivision and to Honorable Ngalajo.
Donga Mountain Division.
Yeah, division.
All right, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy you stayed with us. Stay in the company of interesting programs on Equinox Television.